To our top story now, BJP versus Kejriwal government war over oxygen cylinders is escalating with each passing day. BJP has demanded criminal case against the Delhi government over the alleged failure in managing oxygen crisis despite proper alerts from the centre. Delhi BJP chief Adesh Gupta accused the Delhi chief minister of negligent attitude in handling the situation in the national capital. Gupta alleged that Kejriwal government did not add a single bed, ventilator or oxygen plant despite warning from the centre in December last year. BJP has claimed that the Modi government is allocated funds from PM CARES to Delhi government to set up 8 oxygen plants and arrange tankers, but no step was taken. The BJP has also trained guns the Delhi minister Imran Hussain after he was summoned by Delhi High Court over the charges of hoarding essentials including oxygen cylinders.
जिस तरह से दिल्ली सरकार के मंत्री और दिल्ली के आम आदमी पार्टी के विधायक ऑक्सीजन समेत कई चीजों की दवाओं की जमाखोरी कर रहे थे, ऑक्सीजन कंसंट्रेटर की कालाबाजारी जमाखोरी करते हुए जो लोग पकड़े जा रहे हैं या जिन लोगों के ऊपर जिनको कहते दिल्ली का निर्माता का खिताब आम आदमी पार्टी ने दिया है, ऐसे लोग जो आम आदमी पार्टी के दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री के सबसे ज़्यादा करीबी और चहेते हैं, वो लोग ऑक्सीजन कंसंट्रेटर की कालाबाजारी कर रहे थे।
अरविंद केजरीवाल के ऊपर में क्रिमिनल मुकदमा कैसे दर्ज हुआ, हम उसके लिए पूरा प्रयास करेंगे। उनको तुरंत 24 घंटे के अंदर अपने विधायक और अपने मंत्री इमरान हुसैन का इस्तीफा लेना चाहिए और जब तक उनके ऊपर में भारत सरकार को लिखना चाहिए कि इनके ऊपर सीबीआई इंक्वायरी की जाए और जब तक वो इंक्वायरी खत्म नहीं होती है और जब तक वो साफ उसमें से निकल कर नहीं आते हैं, तब तक उनको मंत्री पद से बाहर रहना चाहिए।
Delhi Police Crime Branch has initiated probe in the oxygen racket case. One of the teams has been deployed to nab Khan Chacha owner Navneet Kalra. His business partner Gagan Duggal is also under scanner. The alleged black marketing of life-saving equipment has triggered widespread outrage, with many now calling for the boycott of restaurants owned by Navneet Kalra. Here's a complete report.
At a time when Delhi is grappling for oxygen to fight this deadly virus that's ravaged India, here are multi-millionaires Navneet Kalra and Gagan Duggal who have been illegally hoarding large quantities of oxygen concentrators and cylinders. This inhuman act was exposed by the Delhi police following a tip-off. Cops found 524 oxygen concentrators at Navneet's upscale restaurants and many more at Gagan Duggal's farmhouse. 419 oxygen concentrators found at Negi and Jew Bar and restaurant at Lodi Colony. 96 oxygen concentrators found at Khan Chacha restaurant in Khan Market. 9 oxygen concentrators were found at Town Hall Bar and restaurant in Khan Market. 387 oxygen concentrators found from Duggal's Khullar farmhouse at Mandi village. These concentrators were sold for a whopping 70,000 apiece, while police claim they were bought at 20,000 or even less. Navneet Kalra donned the hat of a philanthropist and in the guise of charity, black marketed the essential commodity. Gagan Duggal, who is said to be the mastermind, allegedly imported close to 7,000 oxygen concentrators from China and sold them on online portals for premium price. Navneet Kalra and Gagan Duggal, who are friends and partners in business, are currently exhausting all powers to prove not guilty. While Navneet Kalra is on the run since May the 6th, and simultaneously pushing for bail, Gagan Duggal is cooling off in London and has appealed to the Delhi High Court to get back his stock, calling this probe ill-conceived and erroneous. The allegations are grave: hoarding essential commodity during pandemic, selling medical equipment from restaurants with food house license, no proper bill, no GST, and using their celebrity status to spread the word. Police have invoked sections of Cheating Essential Commodities Act and Epidemic Diseases Act against the accused. Delhi's society is angry and concerned. Navneet Duggal was a well-known page 3 personality with a great network, often hobnobbing with celebrities and cricketers.
This is a serious case.
The man is on the run, he's absconding, and he has hoarded oxygen concentrators, sold it for a much higher price. No license, no bills, this is illegal. And
Then
there is
he must be punished. He
Right.
must be punished. There is no two ways about it. Whether I know him personally, socially, friend, no friend, but anyone who does it and is convicted and is proven has to pay for it and has to be punished. There are no two ways about it.
Navneet Kalra's business partners, who co-own the restaurants from where these oxygen concentrators were seized, have feigned ignorance. Co-owners Randeep Bajaj and Navneet Randhawa put out social media stories claiming they had no clue about the oxygen concentrators found at their restaurants. The Khan Market circles are outraged, many calling for boycott of Navneet Kalra's restaurants on social media. As Delhi gasped for breath, this case has left us all to introspect. With Munish Pandey and Nabila Jamal, Bureau Report, India Today.
In a shocking incident, 23 COVID patients have gone missing from Delhi's Hindu Rao Hospital between April 19th and 7th of May. Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia has directed the Health Department to submit a report by today on this matter, by this evening, saying that such incidents can sabotage the government's effort to impose a lockdown. And it is a threat to the patient's life as well. Meanwhile, patients can allege that hospital has no facilities or any kind of hygiene maintained for the patients. They are further claiming that they are made to run from pillar to post to arrange for medicines and even medical equipment like thermometers and oximeters. The situation is that each ward can accommodate 40 to 50 COVID patients. The hospital authorities have reported the matter to the police and the case is now being probed. The NMDC mayor says the patients might have been shifted to other hospitals for seeking better amenities or treatments. But the fact of the matter is, where are these patients?
23 मरीज एक दिन के अंदर नहीं गए। जैसे कभी कोई मरीज आया और उसको लगा कि किसी और अस्पताल में जाना तो वो बगैर बताए चले गए, लेकिन जिम्मेदार हॉस्पिटल होने के नाते हमने उनको सबको रजिस्टर्ड किया और हमने बताया कि 23 लोग बगैर बताए हॉस्पिटल को जानकारी दिए दूसरे अस्पतालों में अपने घर चले गए। तो उसकी जानकारी हमें रखनी चाहिए और वो आगे बतानी चाहिए। तो हमने डीडीएमए को भी उसके लिए बताया, पुलिस को भी बताया। सब चिन्हित है, क्योंकि जब आदमी एडमिट होता है तो उसका एड्रेस तो आता ही है, उसका पूरा एड्रेस हमारे पास है, वो सब चिन्हित है। और उसमें से काफ़ी लोगों की हमें जानकारी कि वो अन्य हॉस्पिटल में एडमिट है या घर पर होम क्वारंटाइन।
As the COVID monster surge grips India, states resort to impose more stringent curbs. Both Delhi and UP have extended lockdown till 17th of May. IMA has slammed centre for not imposing a nationwide lockdown to relieve the reeling medical infrastructure. Here's a report.
The raging pandemic has forced states to extend their lockdowns. Owing to the crumbling medical infrastructure, Delhi government has decided to impose stricter curbs for another week.
अभी ढिलाई नहीं दी जा सकती, अभी समय नहीं आया है ढिलाई देने का। तो सबका ये मानना है कि अभी लॉकडाउन को और एक्सटेंड करने की ज़रूरत है। जान है तो जहान है, अगर ज़िंदगी बचेगी तो बाद में और बहुत कुछ कर लेंगे ज़िंदगी में।
The Kejriwal government has imposed stricter curbs this time around. Now metros will not run in this phase of lockdown, and marriage ceremonies will be allowed only at home with 20 guests. The state resorted to extending the curbs till May 17th as Delhi witnessed a sharp fall in cases after lockdown was imposed on April 26th. Neighbouring Uttar Pradesh too resorted to extending its curfew till May 17th. Amid rising cases, UP CM Yogi Adityanath reviewed the DRDO's COVID facility.
हर एक स्तर पर संसाधन बढ़ाने के प्रयास हो रहे हैं। सरकार, समाज, सभी लोग मिलकर के जब प्रयास करेंगे तो उसके सार्थक परिणाम आएंगे।
While the states are now resorting to extending lockdown, Indian Medical Association has slammed centre's lethargic approach, calling for a nationwide lockdown to replenish the healthcare system. Better safe than sorry is the mantra that state governments are now following. But is it too little, too late? Bureau Report, India Today.
As the country battles an unprecedented health crisis, Supreme Court is going to be hearing a slew of public interest litigations over COVID preparedness across the country. The hearing comes at a time when the virus has made inroads in rural parts of the country. Moreover, the top court is also going to be hearing pleas that have been filed by several state governments regarding availability of COVID vaccines. During the hearing, the centre is also expected to give a response on virus spread in rural areas and the vaccination policy. So far, Supreme Court has heard the issue of oxygen supply shortage across the country, and to mitigate the crisis has formed a national task force to streamline oxygen allocation across the country. As COVID spreads its spikes in rural parts of India, just 100 kilometers away from Mumbai, tribal areas of Palghar face a double whammy. On one hand, there is a lack of awareness campaign, and on the other hand, lack of COVID measures have compounded the crisis. Pankaj Upadhyay with this ground report.
Just over 100 kilometers away from Mumbai lies this quaint town of Palghar. But all is not well here. The sole government COVID facility in the area is maxed out. This is 58-year-old Kusum. Due to unavailability of beds, hospitals had to give her oxygen on the bench.
तो आधे घंटे से वही देख रहे हो, लेकिन अभी जो मिलेगा वो बोले कि 10-15 मिनट में आपको बेड मिल जाएगा। घबराहट तो होगी ना सर, आपके माँ है तो घबराहट तो होगी ना। ऑक्सीजन भेटना, ऑक्सीजन ते देता है, आपल्याकडे बेड बोलतात। हां तुम्ही ऐक ना, ऑक्सीजन बेड म्हणजे तेच ऑक्सीजन बेड। हां ते उपलब्ध आहे, नाही तर नाही, तुम्हाला ऑक्सीजन का घेऊन का रस्त्यावर बसायचं आहे का?
After a lot of pleading, Kusum's family managed to get an oxygen bed.
क्या बोल रहे हो मैडम?
If I try and go inside, I will see that there are many relatives of the patients who are waiting under the tree, sitting in a cot, waiting for their turn. But what is also frightening is the fact that these people have not been tested. They have come to the hospital with a COVID patient. What if they too are COVID positive? Is there a contact tracing that is being done? As far as the hospital administration here is concerned, they are not saying much on this very issue.
This is the ground reality of health infrastructure in the tribal areas in Palghar.
पालघर जिले की शासकीय प्रशासकीय यंत्रणा है ये पूरी कोलैप्स हो चुकी है। प्राइवेट अस्पताल में इस पालघर जिले का आदिवासी समाज जा सकता है क्या? उनके पास इतना 1.5 लाख 2 लाख 5 लाख भरने के लिए पैसा है क्या? मेरा खुद का अनुभव है, मुझे एक एम्बुलेंस से ऑक्सीजन का बाटला निकाल के उस पेशेंट को घर पे ऑक्सीजन लगाना पड़ा, तो 4 घंटे बाद उसको अस्पताल में लिया। ये करने के लिए 7 दिन लगे।
Many people in the rural areas are dying and still they are not getting any help. Now, India Today will be visiting some of the rural areas in Palghar, and we will also be visiting some of the tribal families to give you an understanding of what exactly is the ground situation and why does people like Santosh say that they are not in any position to help these tribal people because the administration, as they allege, has turned a complete blind eye towards their needs and demands.
Like Kusum, many are finding it hard to get beds. Chaya managed to get a bed for her cousin only after 5 days.
त्याला इथे आणलेला बाटला लावला, पण आम्हाला कोणाची मदत नाही भेटली.
प्रशासनाकडून तुम्हाला मदत
नाही भेटली.
Everywhere you turn, it's the same dismal scenario.
अपने घर में एक आध मरीज निकला तो अपन क्या कर सकते हैं, क्या नहीं, ऐसा मैं अकेला सोच रहा था कि मैं क्या करूं। अभी अकेला हूं मैं, औरत और मैं सोच रहे थे, हम दोनों जन रात में सोते नहीं थे और खाना भी नहीं जाता था। बहुत खराब कंडीशन हमारा उस टाइम था।
The youth blame the politicians for the sorry state of affairs.
हमारे गांव में एक भी बार किसी ने हमारे को बताया नहीं, मास्क पहनो, सैनिटाइजर का उपयोग करो, किसी ने अभी तक बताया नहीं।
ये इधर कोविड पॉजिटिव का जो पेशेंट है ना, तो ग्राम पंचायत से लोग भी नहीं आए कि इधर जाके फवारनी करे औषध विषध का, ऐसा कुछ हुआ भी नहीं।
What's worse is the fact that vaccine awareness in the area is negligible.
मनु जी, आपने वैक्सीन लिया?
नहीं।
अभी आपको लगता है वैक्सीन लेना जरूरी है आपको?
ऐसा तो नहीं लगता है हमको, जरूरी है लेने का।
हम लोग ऐसे काम करते लेकिन वजन उठाते, धूप में काम करते हैं। हाँ, हम लोग
वैक्सीन नहीं चाहिए आपको?
जब जरूरत पड़ेगी जब ही लेंगे हम लोग, ऐसे नहीं लेंगे।
In a nearby village, there is even more vaccine hesitancy.
मेरे पड़ोस के आदमी को बताया कि तुम डोज लो, लेकिन वो डोज लेने से डरते। मैंने उसको बोला मैंने दो डोज लिया, मेरे को कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। बीपी का प्रॉब्लम था तभी मैंने 2 डोज लिया, तभी कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं है मेरे पास।
ट्राइबल एरियाज में बहुत सारे मिसकंसेप्शंस है, रूमर्स है। हमने सब फैमिलीज का सर्वे किया, उसमें फीवर क्लिनिक्स एक्टिवेट किए, फिर भी आज भी सुपरस्टिशंस है।
With Pankaj Upadhyay in Palghar, Bureau Report, India Today.
Since the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic, many desi nuskas have been floating on social media as a cure for COVID or a treatment for COVID. But there is just no scientific evidence to back any of these claims. Doctors warn they're not only dangerous, but some can even be fatal, and hence trust only science over quackery. Take a look at some of these ridiculous claims making rounds that you should just not believe. I bring you this report. Most of us have received WhatsApp forwards and come across some social media posts. There are claims that treat and cure COVID, and doctors sincerely hope that you're not falling for any of them and only are trusting science over such form of quackery. One self-styled godman recently propagated good vibrations to keep COVID at bay. The fact is, you cannot fall for any of these and follow COVID-appropriate behavior of washing hands, using sanitizers, social distancing to prevent COVID. Some forwards make vaccines look like villains. Please do not fall for these and get vaccinated. These forwards, some rather hilarious, even claim to treat COVID through homemade nuskas. Doctors warn they do more harm than good. For instance, onions with rock salts do not treat COVID, and neither does inserting lemon drops in your nostrils. If your oxygen levels are running low, call for medical assistance. Some of these myths floating around of making people with low oxygen levels inhale camphor and ajwain are ultimate forms of quackery, warn the doctors.
We do not want a person, for example, whose oxygen saturation drops to stay at home and smell camphor so that his saturation goes up. This is a complete myth. Please believe in your medical fraternity and doctors and stop believing in unscientific remedies.
While yoga is good for overall well-being, it is not an emergency go-to when a patient's oxygen saturation levels are dropping. While many politicians have been talking about the power of Gau Mutra, please remember it is nothing but a great fertilizer. It neither treats nor prevents coronavirus.
I request you not to fall for these myths around prevention and treatment of COVID, which do more harm than good. Trust science, trust verified sources, and more than anything else, trust the medical professionals.
Doctors warn some of these can also be fatal, and hence only trust a qualified healthcare practitioner. For prevention and treatment of COVID, ultimately you will need care from a certified and qualified healthcare practitioner, and in some cases, hospitalization too. All these myths can cause complications, they can delay your treatment process, that can ultimately also in some cases prove to be fatal. So be wise. Trust science over quackery. In New Delhi, Chaiti Narula for India Today. Assam is all set to get its new Chief Minister. Himanta Biswa Sarma is going to be taking oath as the Chief Minister of Assam at 12 noon in presence of Governor Jagdish Mukhi. This after Sarma was unanimously elected as the leader of the BJP legislative party in the state, paving his way for the top post in Assam. The oath-taking ceremony is going to be held at Srimanta Shankar Dev in Guwahati, and BJP President JP Nadda is going to be in attendance. India Today has learned that along with Sarma, 8 to 9 MLAs are going to be taking oath as cabinet ministers. After hectic parleys with the BJP top brass in Delhi, it is clear now that Himanta Biswa Sarma is going to be the next Chief Minister of Assam. Sarma, along with other NDA leaders, met Assam's governor to stake claim to form the government. Here's the latest.
The week-long suspense has come to an end, and it's official now. Himanta Biswa Sarma will be the next Chief Minister of Assam, replacing incumbent Sarbananda Sonowal for the top post. Sharma, along with NDA leaders, met Governor Jagdish Mukhi at his residence in Guwahati to stack claim to form government. He will take the oath of Chief Minister on Monday. This came after Sharma was unanimously elected as the leader of the BJP Legislative Party in the state. Before meeting the governor, both Sharma and Sonowal were seen travelling in the same car to the Legislative Assembly. Similar optics were seen in the national capital when both had a slew of meetings with BJP top brass. Sharma, who switched to BJP from Congress 6 years ago, has been credited as the architect who brought the Northeast states within BJP's grasp.
One of the most prominent political leaders from the Northeast in Bharatiya Janata Party space there, Himanta Biswa Sarma, will succeed Sarbananda Sonowal as the next Chief Minister of Assam. Today he was chosen as the leader of Bharatiya Janata Party's legislative party in the state and is all set to take oath as the next Chief Minister of Assam at 12 p.m. on Monday. With camera person Shakil Ahmed in the national capital, I'm Tanushree Pandey for India Today.
It's a wrap from me, Chaiti Narula, on this bulletin. For further news and updates, do log on to indiatoday.in or download the app. Lots more coming up on the other side. Stay with us.